Would you like to tell us how you contracted this disease?
Well, shortly after birth, I was given a blood transfusion that I needed to save my hour-old life. And unfortunately, at that stage, they weren't able to test yet for a disease like hepatitis C. They knew it existed, but they didn't know how to test for it. And so this transfusion that at that stage was meant to save my life gave me a disease that I had for about 30 years before I discovered that I had it.
Do you mind just telling us what hepatitis C is? I'm just want to share it with the viewers for those of them who do not know the term hepatitis C.
I had no idea what it was when I heard. So hepatitis C is a blood disease, and it attacks your liver, and it slowly kills off all the liver cells until your liver doesn't function anymore, and then you can't survive. So there are many different kinds of hepatitis. Hepatitis A, B, and C are the main categories. And hepatitis A is something that you get if you eat dirty lettuce. So if you don't wash your food properly, you can get hepatitis A. There's a vaccine for it. And your body has a natural immunity. Once you've had it, then your body will fight the disease and you won't get it again. Then you get hepatitis B, which is more serious, and you can't get rid of that one. It's a sexually transmitted disease, and you can also get it through sharing blood with other people. And that's also a nasty bug. And then hepatitis C, which is the one that I had, is transmitted through direct blood contact, so through the transfusion. Unfortunately, I contracted the disease.
So tell me, Liesl, you mentioned that you contracted it through a blood transfusion. So you went and you donated blood. Am I correct in saying that?
Yes, so that's how I discovered that I had the disease. There was a blood drive in the town where I work. And I'd always wanted to donate blood, but there was always something that prevented me. So it was too soon after a cold or too soon after a visit to the dentist. So I could never go through with the donation. And so on the day, one of my colleagues twisted my arm and said, "No, you have to come with me. We have to go and donate blood." And I was so busy, and I was thinking, oh, I really don't have time for this. But I'm sure that it's just the Lord speaking to my heart saying, you can't let your friend go alone, you have to go with her. And so I remember we were filling in the forms and laughing at all the silly questions about health, because we were the healthiest people on earth. I mean, come on. And so we went through the process of donating blood, and we were so proud of ourselves. And then about a week later, I think, I got a letter from the Western Cape Blood Service saying, "Thank you very much for donating blood, but please come and see us. It's quite urgent, and don't donate blood again until you've come to see us." And that's how I discovered that I had hepatitis C. It was quite a thing.
So how does one react to such a letter?
Well, yes, obviously very emotionally. I was completely shocked. It's unexpected. I immediately started Googling, what do they test for when they draw your blood? And you get these horror images, and they test for all different kinds of hepatitis, and they test for HIV. And I started, by a process of elimination, I couldn't possibly have HIV. There's no way I could have hepatitis C. So I put those two aside immediately. I said, well, hepatitis B you can still get from contaminated food. Hepatitis A you can still get from contaminated food. So if it has to be something, it's one of those two. But I was so certain that it was a mistake. I mean, obviously, they'd either tested incorrectly. There was a problem with the process in the blood bank, which has been around for many years. Or they switched my blood with someone else's. It has to be that. And the next day I got to work, and I asked my colleague who had worked at the blood bank previously, I said to her, okay, well, what are the chances? There must be a mistake. Close